Hello, this is Manijeh Motaghy. I am the co-founder of Perfectly Here, a mindfulness teacher. I teach for UCLA and also just a program director at Perfectly Here, trying to bring mindfulness to this world today. And whatever we're experiencing globally is the challenge of humanity, not from today, but originating from day one when we were born. And slowly, the challenge would become bigger and bigger and more embedded in our minds, in our hearts, and just continue with us. And what I'm talking about, pointing to, is the challenge of the ego that is rightly there to protect us, to get us what we need, to alert our caretakers about the things we need, and slowly picking up that ego as the self, the one who is truly the one who is alive, and more getting disconnected from the source of oneness, or the source of the heart, and the source of really being having a bigger picture, bigger view of the world. More and more we become isolated within our own sense of the person we are and who we are, and our needs and our thoughts and our perceptions, our feelings, our desires. We become more and more stuck actually in that smaller world. And so I'm thinking about this right now because just a couple of hours ago, when one of our other teachers was teaching mindfulness online to kids and families, there was one little beautiful young, very young, maybe 6 or 7 year old girl came on. And it was so sweet because she said that she's here with her 2 year old brother, and she's hoping that he would listen and he would learn some things because she's really annoyed by him. And it was just so, really so endearing, so sweet. But to us grown ups, it seems fun, funny, sweet to hear such a thing. But for her, imagine the heart and the world in her mind, and that little small young person who hasn't even lived long enough to claim an identity, a role, a big responsibility, or be any adult yet, and still she has developed the sense of separateness within her, and the sense of me and my needs and my space and my desires and my character and my person, um, and then being really maybe disconnected from the fact that there are other people around, other beings around, who share this space with us. And just because they're here on this planet, they they have the right to be here on this planet, and they have the right to be fully and completely happy, cared for, seen, recognized, nourished, loved. Another example was my own niece, who is almost not even 4 yet. She has this fear of the spider. She hates the spider, and to me, I feel sad because she's so small and already she has experienced hate. This perception of not wanting, thinking that something else that is moving is not supposed to be here on this planet. And so she learned that to avoid, to have resistance, to push away, to hate, to kill, to the spider. And so I feel like, it all starts from such a young age that we develop these irritations, resistance, judgments, these ways of being unhappy, just unhappy with the world around us and thinking that some things shouldn't be. And even, thinking about, okay, there is this virus called COVID-19 that is here, that's present. We have to be very careful about what it can do to us, and um, be vigilant, be protective of ourselves, obviously, and yet we don't have to hate it. Why? Because it's a added discomfort, added load of burden on us. When we start hating something or resenting something or being irritated by something, it's an added burden on our mind, on our heart. And so it's not necessary, it's not necessary. We can maybe allow space for others. And this goes up the age group. I had a class the other day that we were talking about right now, adults being together, husbands and wives, spouses, partners who were seeing each other maybe only a few hours a evening or so. Now they spend more time together, and so needs and desires, wants and attentiveness or not attentiveness, it can be clashing. It can cause discomfort. You may become more irritated with your partner because he's just more relaxed than you are, or not as attentive as you are, or maybe not be seeing the world the way you see it, because they're actually inside their own world. They're experiencing their life within their own world, and just like you are occupied with your mind, mental content, mental activity, thoughts, perceptions, your feelings, your emotions, you know what? They are too. They are too. And so, but we don't see it. We're not connected to it because that sense of me, the self, the ego, is so strong now, and so strong that as an adult, that it's very difficult to step out of it. We are stuck in it. We are prisoned by it. So another case was one of my good friends who is a mindfulness practitioner, who is very thoughtful in nature, very kind in nature. He was telling me that he was standing at the restaurant, ordered some food, and waiting in his car in the parking lot, and a policeman approached him. As he was talking to me over the phone, the policeman approached him, and maybe with not a kind tone, the policeman asked him why is he there and he shouldn't be there. And my friend, who had been impacted by some news of tragedy and wasn't very, very uplifted as he usually is, he was sensitive. It was a sensitive time for him. What the officer said, or the tone that the officer said to him that he shouldn't be there, got to him and upset him, and he felt like the guy, the man, the officer wasn't kind, wasn't polite, he was rude. And so there we go, the officer is a human being. The officer, who knows, all these guys and people who are first responders and having to help others and protect themselves. I mean, usually like firefighters, policemen, those who are on the front line, they usually have to be protective of themselves anyways, against, violence, against buildings falling on top of their head when they're putting a fire out, or things like that. And now imagine, now with this new challenge, even their challenge are so much higher, and so their anxiety, their sense of well-being is threatened, and their anxiety much higher. And so maybe there is a time during the day that they cannot be aware, that they cannot be kind, that they don't have it to give it, and so we can whether you are a 2-year-old or a 4-year-old or a 6-year-old or a wife or a husband or a child, or we can all be a little bit more aware of, oh, I'm not the only one who's living in this house or in this town or in this planet. I'm not the only one who is using all the resources. I'm not the only one who needs attention, affection, appreciation. Yeah, we all do. And so I'm hoping that I can just bring to your attention a little bit about why don't we resort to the heart. The heart says, oh, the spider has a life. And as long as the spider is alive, that spider has fear for the life. And so we can maybe gently pick it up, gently take it out in a way that its legs don't get broken, that it can actually be landed somewhere safe and go about its life and business. Although it would be misplaced and it would have to be a little confused and find its way. Just think about it. Imagine when you move an animal from the house, a pest or something like that, to outside in the wilderness. They're not just continuing. No, they were misplaced, displaced. They were burdened. They're now confused and they have to whatever they have to do. So having a little compassion like that would be so beautiful. And maybe the 2-year-old brother just thinking about imagining that you can go into his little body and mind and see what he sees. He sees an older sister who is beautiful and very intelligent, who is so capable, and feeling less, feeling I'm not as good as her, I'm not good enough, I wish I could be, feeling that I wish I could be seen like that, I wish I could be praised like that, and just feeling a little lonely maybe. That might be possible, right? So just putting yourself in that place, maybe you can not be so unhappy. Your unhappiness is so much of it made by the mind, by perception, and by isolating inside your own person, who you are, you think you are. Okay, well, I wish you all the best. And to end this session, this podcast, I will ask us to sit for a few minutes, meditate. I will guide you. And wherever you are listening to this, if you're driving, don't close your eyes. But if you're not driving and you're able to sit somewhere or stand somewhere, just gently take a deep breath. When you take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, relax your face, relax your body. Let's take one more deep breath. And I'm going to sound a bell, a singing bowl here. I'd like for you to listen to the sound from the moment that it starts resonating to the time that it finishes. Just tuning into that, letting go of all of your thoughts and letting yourself be comfortable and peaceful. As you listen to the sound of the bowl, I'd like for you to shift your awareness to yourself, to your heart, and wish yourself some thoughts of goodwill. May I be safe. Quietly say that into your mind. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be free. May I be nourished and loved. And more importantly, may I be kind and loving to myself. And then bring someone into your mind who has irritated you, even if it was a spider, or a little brother, or a spouse, or a sister, or a friend, or a neighbor. Someone said that their neighbor made them a little unhappy, upset. Bring them into your mind. Know that they too are able to be stressed out, sad, worried, afraid. And maybe with a little kindness in your heart, you can wish them well. Hold them in your mind and say to them in your mind, may you be peaceful. May you be joyful. May you be playful. May you feel safe. Let's take a deep breath. Let it out. And then bring in awareness to all people around the world. Right now there are people who have lost loved ones to this disease, to this virus, to this COVID-19. People who are in hospitals, wearing masks, caring about these other people who are afraid to catch it, but they have to do it. Doctors, nurses, and even the patients who don't know what's going to happen, who have difficulty to breathe right now, laying on a bed. So scared, imagine how it could be, so scared. And so we all take a deep breath together, one breath for them, for all these people who are having difficulty all around the world, whether they're in China or Italy or Iran or Afghanistan or United States, Europe, Africa, anywhere on this planet. Let's take one good deep breath. Gently, slowly release. May everyone around the world feel safe. May everyone around the world be nourished, be loved, be cared for. And also let's not forget people who are in governments trying, they are responsible, they're being scrutinized all the time. Remember, they are human beings with the same frailties, same challenges, same emotions, same sense of fear, worry, anxiety, and even more so because they're responsible. And whether they are doing the right or wrong, or they know what to do or not, it's not relevant. From your heart of kindness, your vast, big heart, we can wish them well. May all who are trying to make our lives better, may they be peaceful, may they be happy, may they be safe. and all the elderly, all our mothers, fathers, grandparents, our children, our sisters, brothers. May they all be safe, peaceful, happy, and well. I wish you a very good rest of the day or evening, and please listen to these talks. I will put them out regularly. My name is Manijeh Motaghy, and I am with Perfectly Here Mindfulness Center in Los Angeles. Thank you.